Now, today's guest was rocked by a breast cancer diagnosis 4 years ago at the age of 50. But following treatment and a mastectomy, Julia Bradbury is now in remission and has been investigating ways to get the healthiest body she can. And luckily, she is sharing her knowledge today, including some easy tips and tricks that we can all try at home. Please welcome Julia Bradbury. Listen, you're another one I follow on Instagram. It's not just Jeff, just so that everybody knows. And you are also in incredible shape and so fit.
Well, so everybody here is in very good shape.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Well, what I wanted to ask you was, to what extent did your breast cancer diagnosis redirect your life?
Oh, completely. It absolutely did, because I thought I was a pretty healthy person before my breast cancer diagnosis, so I was completely shocked when I was told I had cancer, and then I went through the gamut of emotions that I think almost everybody does when you're told that you have cancer. Utter fear, not knowing what the future holds, and wondering, am I going to be alive to see my children grow up? And after I had started to navigate my way through the diagnosis, there's just a switch just flicked in my brain where I went, right, I need to do everything I can to support myself through this. So what can I do to support my diagnosis and my treatment, and to try and maintain my health from within and externally through this cancer thing? Right. And it just made me start looking at everything I was doing in a whole new light.
I mean, certainly optimising your health is a good thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of healthy people get cancer as well, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, look, there are... the biggest risk for getting cancer is age, because as your DNA starts to fragment, unfortunately, so age is your biggest risk. There are other risk factors that we know, so people who have type 2 diabetes, they have a higher risk of getting a cancer. We know that obesity, there's a link between fatty tissue and between certain cancers as well. There's now a lot of discussion about ultra-processed foods and colorectal cancers, and so... Yes, healthy people get...
Sometimes you just...
But sometimes it's just bad luck. Yeah, sometimes it's... Well, 5 to 10% is genetics, 30-40% of... Or, you know, there's a large percentage of cancers that are preventable. And then there's a whole other thing, which is environmental exposures and what is happening in our modern world, like microplastics and things like that. We don't really know what they're doing to us yet.
What were you not doing before that you're now doing?
Right, so I wasn't, bizarrely, as the lady who loves to walk and be outside, and I've always been an advocate for nature and always was and still am, and it wasn't false. But there were days when, through work, I wasn't outside every day. So it's very easy when you do the jobs that we do. They're quite erratic, aren't they? So some days when you're in studio and you know you're getting out, and some days you're sitting at a laptop working. So there were quite a few days when I wasn't outside in nature, getting daylight, hugging my trees and doing my grounding, which I do, which is barefoot walking. So I made a promise to myself when I came home after my mastectomy that I would be outside every single day of my life until the day I move on from this point on, because nature is hugely beneficial, important, healing, empowering, all of those things. So I start my day every day now, regardless of how rushed I am. And, you know, I, like many parents this week, kids off to new schools, uniforms everywhere, labels and all the rest of it. So I've been getting up a little bit earlier to make sure I do my breath work, which calms me, and I get my morning light and I'm looking at my trees, and that's my first bit of nature snacking.
And that's to make you feel good. That makes you feel
It makes me
positive.
feel good. And I also know, I track myself now, so I also know, for example, yesterday my heart rate, my resting heart rate was quite high, and my heart rate variability, something else that I measure, which is what's happening in between your hearts, was quite low. So that can give you a clue that something's not quite right with you.
I do the same. I get up early before the house, nice and silent, and I get myself an instant coffee and I go on Instagram. I don't know why I'm still in silence. I'm still in silence.
So in the book, there's quite a lot about brain health, and what you're doing is, well, Professor Sachin Panda from Salk University, he's one of the leading experts in eating and food and circadian rhythms. He would say to you, please, Katie, don't eat for the first hour or consume a calorie, including coffee, when you wake up. Because your cortisol level is high in the morning.
But mine's a black coffee, no milk, no sugar. Is that OK?
But you're mixing caffeine and cortisol, so you might not need or want to do that first thing.
It's
that would be the
just
argument.
to tap water and Instagram,
Do you know
isn't it?
Julia, I'm slightly tied because, I mean, I know there's, you know, great advice in here and everything, and I am health conscious, you know, and I do try and lead a healthy lifestyle. But nowadays I do worry about the anxiety side of it and almost over-vigilance. And I mean, certainly in my family, I have family members who have gone to the point that they are overly vigilant, and causing themselves anxiety.
Yeah.
Where is the line? I mean, Jane is a great one for a moderate lifestyle, aren't you, Jane?
Yeah, a little bit of everything in moderation.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose for me, my motivation is I was told, for example, with alcohol, I was told that if I drink 4 to 6 units of alcohol a week by Professor Gareth Evans, we did a polygenic risk score on me and we looked at various risk factors. My risk of reoccurrence goes up by 28% if I consume alcohol at that moderate level.
Yeah.
So for me, with my goals and my, I want to be a 90-year-old yoga granny, I want to be here for my children, all the rest, I don't want to take that risk.
Sure.
We know as well, for example, you're a huge exerciser. I see you rebound and you're brilliant at your exercise. We know there's a fantastic new study, or really interesting new study that's come out, saying that exercise absolutely helps with preventing reoccurrence of cancer and can stave off disease as well.
And also, I think mental health, and I think that we don't often think enough about that. Like you say, going out in the morning, steadying yourself, because cortisol and adrenaline is a very addictive natural drug, isn't it? And I think lots of us are running against time, trying to fit in too much, not eating well, And, the thing is also, if you are going to get ill, why not be as healthy as you can so that you can recover better?
Exactly.
And we all have a friend that recently had cancer a couple of years ago, and her treatment was hard, but we always say she was so health conscious beforehand. She was going to get cancer, whatever.
Yeah.
But it really helped that recovery and helped the treatment.
Yes.
And the thing is about eating well and exercising is that you just feel so much better. You've got more energy.
Yeah.
You
really do.
Julia, I'm just sorry to interrupt you. It's just for time-wise.
Okay.
I know that one of the things you recommend is olive oil.
Yes.
A shot that I'm just hoping it's going to help poor Jane's...
I'm going to pour this for you.
Poor Jane's
Stacey.
throat.
It might
because she's been struggling
It will
with
absolutely.
healing.
So let me tell you, you love olive oil,
Yes,
I know. So
every
let's
day.
talk about the healing properties of olive oil. They've got lots of polyphenols, something called oleic acid, meant to be good for inflammation, good at insulin sensitivity. So, we want to keep our blood sugars.
Can I use it to fry an egg?
It's a monosaturated fat, so there are quite a few. I don't know what's in that shot. Maybe 20, 30, 40. I don't know. It's not going to be huge.
And it's great for your gut. Good for your gut.
Great for your gut
body.
and all the rest of it. So cheers, everybody. Yes, as they say in Greece. And a really good one should be extra
that's
virgin
lovely.
olive oil, and it should be peppery at the back of the throat.
Fantastic.
And are you loving it,
so
Kat?
good.
I'm just hiding it behind my tea. I saw her face and I thought, no chance. Right, here we go.
Had it.
With white wine, Jane?
Here's Julia's book. It's called Hack Yourself Healthy. Julia Bradbury,
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. It's Jeff.
There you go, there's a spare one coming up
I
next.
should say there are lots of other hacks in the book that aren't just about this. There's daylight and walking backwards and lots of accessible stuff.
Well, let's
this
just
might
take
not
your
be
olive
your
oil
cup
and
of
walk
tea.
backwards out the studio.
OK, all right, I'll do that. Are you ready?
Come in. Hey,
Bye,
thanks, Julia.
see you.